Avenue X in West 3rd. The gold car jumped the sidewalk, rear-ended this car that was parked, hit a Chinese kid on the sidewalk, 14 years old, taken to the hospital. Avenue X is on lockdown.
William Demeo, his crew, and Gravesend have been all over the local papers lately. And not for the reasons you may think. A young boy is walking his dog on the sidewalk when an old lady hit a parked car.
80-year-old woman was driving a Chevy on Avenue X when the brakes stopped working.
Pinned him underneath.
A teenage boy is trapped beneath an SUV, and so is his dog.
A small group of Good Samaritans came around to lift the car and help the kid out.
Together, they actually lift the car. The boy is now in critical condition.
Will Demeo himself may or may not have helped out, but some of his crew definitely did, such as John Camera, who you can clearly see and hear in this video.
Fellow actor John Camera.
Let's lift the car, and that's when a bunch of us all came through. He can't breathe! You okay?
I'm very thankful to Will and his crew and everyone who helped this boy out in this situation, but what I'm not thankful for is the exploitation of this entire situation. Instead of the 14-year-old boy, Will Demeo somehow made himself the star of this tragic incident. Every news report is solely focused on him and his show Gravesend.
The heroes were working on a TV show filming nearby.
Set of the Amazon Prime TV crime drama Gravesend. Actor William Demeo is the star of the show.
The star and crew of the show jumped in to help a boy in trouble.
Around Gravesend are praising the men, including actor William Demeo and several of his crew members.
And crew of the mob drama Gravesend rushed to help a teenage boy.
Majority of the news articles surrounding the situation have big pictures of Will Demeo's face scattered throughout, and most of the headlines put Gravesend and Will Demeo first before the actual boy in the incident. Instead of TV crew saves teen boy run over in Brooklyn, the headline should read, Teen boy run over in Brooklyn, TV crew saves. Instead of the title, cast and crew of the Gravesend TV show lifts SUV off a Brooklyn teen run over by out-of-control driver, it should read, Brooklyn teen run over by out-of-control driver, cast and crew of Gravesend TV show lifts SUV off. Instead of Gravesend TV show rescues teen trapped under SUV in Brooklyn, it should be, teen trapped under SUV in Brooklyn, rescued by Gravesend TV crew. This is nothing more than a big publicity stunt, with Will Demeo going on as many talk shows as he can, wearing a black shirt that says Gravesend in big letters in order to promote it.
If actor and filmmaker William Demeo was filming the TV show Gravesend less than a block.
Also nearby, actor William Demeo on set, shooting scenes for the show Gravesend.
Shooting scenes for the TV series Gravesend. He grew up in this neighborhood, has appeared in The Sopranos and the film Gotti.
Comparing Will's interview to those who were also on scene that day, Will comes off very insincere.
But it's horrible. And making, it was just terrible.
I think God put us there. I mean, that's how I feel personally.
Will drones on in countless interviews, treating it almost as a press tour for a movie.
We lifted up the car.
I was sweeping to the scene in a movie to actually being part of real life that was movie-like.
According to many people on scene, he didn't show up till later and had no idea what was going on. The first source of this information is Jonathan, who was one of the very first people on site, and gave his interview to the very first news source who showed up to the scene. Pix11 was the very first news organization to post this story at 9:21 p.m., November 8th, the day of the incident. The article states that Jonathan was in his apartment at 5:45 p.m. when he heard a loud impact. The Gravesend Instagram page posted coverage of this story by the Daily News. The picture was then flooded with praise by crew members and friends, along with countless Instagram stories praising him and his crew. Jonathan comments, Demeo was not one of the first people on set and was clueless on what to do. I was one of the first people there while his director took videos and pictures from a few feet away doing jack shit. We know that part of this is 100% true because we have pictures from Evan Sumner from the incident. These pictures are truly horrifying and disgusting, and the fact that someone would even take these pictures shows a lack of motivation to do anything about the situation and a lack of judgment on both the part of him and the people who uploaded these pictures on these articles to even show this. Jonathan continued to say, you guys didn't do shit. That guy stood next to me asking if the kid was alright. Does he look alright? What the fuck? Yes, it was a team effort, but do not put the responsibility solely on yourselves, assholes. This prompted the Gravesend Instagram account, meaning Will, to block Jonathan and remove his comments from the comment section. After being blocked, I got help from a man called I Heard It on the Streets of Bensonhurst who helped me get into connection with Jonathan. He shared me some DMs between the two of them, and I was able to have a phone call with Jonathan who explained the entire story to me himself. Jonathan reached out to multiple news outlets who covered the story wrongly, and only one responded. They admit Will Demeo was exaggerating his role for PR purposes, and even stated they might change their original article. Jonathan is right about Will Demeo taking most of the credit, as he's the one fully named and always comes first this before naming the other 9 people who helped out.
Demeo is one of at least a dozen people.
Demeo got wind of what happened and rushed to help the child. He's one of at least a dozen people.
Demeo and other Good Samaritans, including some of his staff, made
Demeo and the rest of the Good Samaritans on scene, including some of his staff.
At least 9 others helped.
All of Jonathan's claims are also backed up by another person who was on scene of the accident that night. Vito says, "You gotta stop referring to this man and his crew as heroes. I myself even pulled up late, but I can for sure tell you that Mr. Demeo was sitting right next to me asking, 'What happened?' The fact that he claimed responsibility for freeing the pinned boy is a joke. To me, it seemed more like a self-promotion than him just receiving praise for an action he didn't participate in." He continues to say, not to mention Will himself, after showing up at the scene, literally said out loud, "Okay guys, back to work," and I have several people that can attest to this. Here are a couple of comments I got on the situation. This is the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Thank you everyone who helped me make this video, and thank you everyone who actually helped the 14-year-old boy out of this situation. Again, this is not me saying these things. This is people who are on scene, who helped in this incident, who are saying these things, and I'm just reporting on it.